This is the perfect way to actually develop the skill of engaging the root of your tongue. Now that way is called greasing the groove, G to G type training. Now greasing the groove, I've heard it from Pavel Tsatsouline, and all it is instead of going really hard and intense in your training sessions, you go at a moderate pace, a moderately easy pace, so that you could do your training multiple times throughout the day, almost every day, compared to doing training really hard, but you have to rest for like 2 or 3 days in order to train back again. Now this style is well known in more of the um, powerlifting world or strength and conditioning world, but this is the perfect framework for mewing and actually developing the skill of engaging the root of your tongue. See, this greasing the groove applied to mewing is in essence you engage the root of your tongue, but instead of pushing really hard, you focus on just engaging it at the best of your ability properly. So you focus on, like, you put your thumb here, and you focus on your tongue being fully engaged with the root of your tongue fully engaged, that this area sucks in. It not only goes up and tightens, but it actually like kind of grooves in because of the root really raises up and engages the back of your mouth. Now, instead of just doing it really hard, where you actually have to rest, just do it at a moderate, moderately hard. Like, don't do it too hard that it starts hurting. Just do it like medium hard. Go medium hard, kind of pushing and spacing. But also, you don't want to do it too soft that you're not creating an impression in your nervous system, because it actually still needs to be moderately hard. So I would say push with like 70 to 85% instead of 100% where it's too hard. You focus on 70 to 85%. That is like the sweet spot for pushing. Anything below that is too weak, and you focus on that moderate pressure, and then since you're not fully engaging your mind, since you're not pushing 100%, there's actually space for your mind to focus on something and focus on the feel and the technique, the proper engagement of the root of your tongue. Now once you got the right position, just hold it there. Since you're keeping a moderate pace, you can hold it there longer, and you can develop more endurance and actually put the skill more in your head. But time will come. Depends on your attention span. But if something comes externally or something just distracts you, that pressure will be lost, and you might even drop the root of your tongue. Now this may be frustrating to some. It was certainly frustrating to me at first, but this is actually a key moment that you can actually improve your skill even more neurophysiologically, because when you like rest and like you lose your focus, when you have to do it again and engage the root of your tongue properly again, it would take kind of time to actually get the right angle, get the right feel, get it at the right position. Now that is an essential part to actually learning and ingraining this skill in your mind, because you're not relying on your short-term memory. You're not relying on the, like, let's say in math, okay, let's say you just learned 3 times 5. Okay, you need to solve it. 3 times 5, 15. Okay, 15. You can just say 3 times 5 equals 15. 3 times 5 equals 15. Once you're saying it like multiple times in a row, you're not really solving it. You're just relying on the short-term memory of you solving it earlier. But when you solve 3 times 15 and you like really solve it, 15, oh, 3 times 5 equals 15. Then you go for like a coffee or go for a walk or you do something else. Then you come back and solve 3 times 15 again. Okay, 15. Okay, that that process of like having to go through it and memorize and like really think on it will actually lead to better memory and better ingraining of the mental facet, and that is just as equally potent in the physical realm for like your tongue and the root of your tongue. So if you easily get distracted, don't worry, just put yourself back to the mewing or what you're doing, engaging the root of your tongue, and that will actually lead to better skill and better long-term memory ingrainment of how you can do it. Now, once you do this style of training where you moderately do it throughout multiple times a day, this will lead to actually really rapid strength gains, not only skill gains, strength gains and skill gains. Since you're practicing the skill almost all the time, since you can do it almost all the time because you're not pushing yourself too hard and you're not doing it too soft that it's not creating an impression in your body and in your mind, you can actually get really fast skill and strength results with the root of your tongue that you don't need to put in as much mental effort to actually exert, to actually put your tongue on the roof of your mouth with your root, with the back third, and actually exert force. You don't need to think on it that much because you would be more, your body and mind would be more efficient at actually doing it since you do it so much. You're greasing the groove of doing the action, so the more you do the action, the more you're greasing it, and it becomes a very faster response and synapse, more efficient response and action of doing it. Now, once you have developed and continually develop the skill, the development of the skill of engaging the root of your tongue with force throughout consistently throughout the day, that is when you'll get the side effect or the after effect of bone remodeling. Since bone will repel really hard forces, like you can't like squish your bone and then it suddenly has a different shape. Bone rejects and repels really hard forces. So when you like smash your elbow in, suddenly there's no gap or there's no crater in it because your bone literally is designed to repel and repel really intense forces. But when the force is light to moderate, that's when your bone will actually absorb it and actually remodel and reshape to that form. Now that is a mechanism that is present all throughout a human being's life. It is faster definitely when you're younger, but all throughout the human's life, bone remodeling can happen as long as you do it the right way and do it with enough force. So light to moderate is how bones, light to moderate forces, consistent light to moderate forces is how bones remodel, but light forces is more for like growing children. So that's for like the soft mewing, the suction mewing, but moderate forces, that is where we older people, adults, young adults have to focus on in order to get those bone remodeling results, especially for mewing. Now that is the system of greasing the groove. You can search and look more into it. I hope I was able to explain it properly, but I really recommend you to look more into this, Greasing the Groove by Pavel Tsatsouline. It's a really genius way of actually training, and it is the perfect and quintessential style for actually doing mewing. So that is the video. If you need a no BS full guide on how to actually get mewing results, click the first link in the description below. That's the link to my ebook. It's filled with the information that I wish I knew when I started mewing, and if I knew those factors and stuff, I would be much farther ahead from where I am now. Now that's the video. Goodbye.